Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Zalbin, managing editor for TVGuide.com. Welcome to TV Guide Live. I'm joined today by one of our awesome editors and Bachelor expert, certified Bachelor expert.
That's right.
Liam Matthews. Congratulations on the certification. Thank you so much for coming by here. Very excited to talk about the Bachelor in Paradise finale, which sounds insane. But for you guys, if you have any questions about the finale, comments, couples you want to see coming up, things you want to see next season, hit us up in the comments on Facebook, facebook.com/TVGuide, or on Twitter, #TVGLive, and we'll get to them throughout the show. But let's get into this. So the finale was last night. By all accounts, this entire season has been insane.
Yeah, it's been
nonstop
nuts.
insanity.
Yeah.
We were talking about this a little bit before the cameras went on. The Bachelor, I feel pretty straightforward. It's people dating, going through little challenges. Bachelorette, same thing. Bachelor in Paradise, what is the show? Tell us what the show is, Liam.
Bachelor in Paradise is weird because it's both very difficult to explain because it's kind of complicated and also very stupid. So it's like, so essentially it's the, cast-offs from The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. They go to this resort in Mexico and they all just kind of hang out and hook up. And but there are rules. So like, I think alternating each week, the men and women have to get roses, and then they have to give their roses to the object of their affection.
Okay, just like in real life.
Yeah, just like in real life.
Sure.
So, so like in order to stay on the show, you have to be in a couple.
Okay.
After the rose ceremony. So
just like in real life.
Just like in real life. So
yeah.
It involves, so there have to be like, people end up having to like make out with people that they don't want to necessarily in order to stay on the show, and maybe when somebody else new comes on, because they're always bringing in new people. It's so complicated.
All right, well, okay, that aside, that all sounds very overwhelming for a show that technically should just be about bachelors in paradise, which seems pretty straightforward. But things went off the rails
from the
finale.
jump.
From the jump, but in the finale.
Oh, in the finale too. Yeah.
There was last season. You were saying there was the first engagement ever on the show.
Yeah, Jade and Tanner.
Which isn't required. It's not required on The Bachelor, but it's kind of required on The Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
But there was the first engagement last night. I'm just going to spoil it straight up. 3 engagements.
3 engagements.
Almost 4 engagements. Kind of. All right, well, let's talk about the first one. What went on there, what happened in the finale, and what led up to that first engagement?
All right, so the first engagement was Evan Bass, the erectile dysfunction specialist from JoJo Fletcher's season of The Bachelorette.
Person, all right? Like, I feel like we focus on the
No.
dysfunction
They're
thing.
only identified by their jobs.
All right, okay.
This is who they are.
Okay, go on.
So he got engaged to Carly Waddell, or I think Waddell, and so at the beginning of the season started, Carly was like creeped out by Evan. She didn't like him at all, and then at one point he faked an illness in order to gain her sympathies.
Okay.
And it worked. And he just kind of like Stockholm syndromed her into falling in love with him, and now they're engaged.
Great.
And still engaged. This was filmed, I think, in June, and as of the live reunion show last night, still engaged.
I laughed out loud when I read your recap of it because my impression was they went from this island to immediately have an after show, and your last line was, as of the after show, they're still engaged. And I was like, all right, lasted for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's nice. Do you think they're going to last?
Of the couples that got engaged, I think they are the most likely to last, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about the second couple, which is clearly then, spoiler, not most likely to last, but what do you think?
Well, so that was Grant and Lace. Grant from JoJo's season and Lace from Ben Higgins' season. She was the early season villain, just kind of volatile. And then, so they got engaged. They got matching tattoos of their couple portmanteau name, which is Grace.
Did they get a hashtag next to it, or was it just
No, that would have been
name?
great.
Okay.
But no, they...
That's too bad.
Just Grace. So, like, they can have plausible deniability if they just
Sure,
break
like
up.
I was in love with a person named Grace.
Yeah.
It wasn't a weird couple name
or
thing
just
that I
like,
did not know.
like Grace. But, but
right,
yeah,
good.
so they got engaged. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so you're not quite as convinced on this.
They're they were on the verge of breaking up the entire season. Like they just
So do
fought
you
continuously.
suspect, were there producer shenanigans then? Is that what went on?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I think a large part of it was they felt they had to top last season, which was, somebody got engaged. So the way to top that would to have, just up the number of engagements. So there were 3.
All right, well, they got to the third one, so let's talk about that one. What happened there?
So that was Amanda Stanton, who was a fan favorite from the Bachelor Ben Higgins season, and Josh Murray, who was engaged to Andy Dorfman, the previous Bachelorette before JoJo Fletcher. So he had actually won. So this is his second Bachelor Nation engagement. This one was controversial because he was, of all the people, he was not there for the right reasons, more so than anyone else. He was there sort of on a rehabilitatory thing because he was portrayed poorly.
What are the right reasons for being on a show called Bachelor?
To find love.
Oh, to find love.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just wanted to check.
Yeah, some people are there to find love.
Yeah,
it
seems
works
like
sometimes.
At least 6 of them did.
Yeah, but like Jade and Tanner, they got married. They apparently, by all accounts, everybody seems they're really in love with each other.
All right,
So
but
it's great.
so he proposed to her, got down on a knee.
Yeah, he was so sweaty. It was crazy.
It's hot. It's hot. in
I mean,
Paradise,
yeah,
that's
and
why.
he was nervous.
All right, but what are the odds? What are the odds on that one lasting? What do you think?
Not great.
Okay. All right, that's not an odds, but we'll take it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's already gossip that they've broken up several times in the months between filming and now.
How long does it take them to film a season of the
18
show?
days.
18
so this
days.
is insane. This is the craziest part is that they meet and then 18 days later they're like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Yeah. At some point, we don't have enough time on the show today. I got to show you my relationship graph that plots out how and when people break up. The first breakup point is 3 months, so they haven't even made it to that point. So basically,
They're almost there. Yeah.
they're almost there, but several of them are going to break up pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's my point. We
Thanksgiving.
have one more couple to talk about, but I want to remind you guys to keep sending in your questions. I see them coming in fast and furious over here. Facebook.com/TV Guide or hashtag TVG Live on Twitter. Let's get to one of them now. This is actually a comment. Nikki Powley says, I'm excited for Carly and Evan. Heart. Do you
nice.
agree? Are you excited for them?
Yeah, I think they actually seem to have a good rapport. Like they get along well. Like they seem well matched in that they're both sort of weird and like kind of corny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't remember if this is true exactly, but I think they both already lived in Nashville, so like they didn't have to relocate, which is nice. Yeah, I think it could work out for them.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about the last couple before we run out of too much time, and we will get to more of your guys' questions and comments in a moment. But last couple, some stuff went on here, but the big reveal was ruined a little bit by
it's pretty
ABC,
funny.
right?
Pretty funny.
So talk people through it. What happened with Nick?
So Nick Viall is going to be the next Bachelor. He is he's a 2-time Bachelorette runner-up. So Bachelor in Paradise was his 3rd show. And that was revealed during After Paradise, the live after show last week. He was announced as the next Bachelor, which means that his arc on Bachelor in Paradise with Jen Saviano, who he was, there were 4 couples left in the last episode, and so they kind of were setting it up like who's going to get engaged? Like we don't know, but then ABC went and spoiled it by announcing if Nick Viall is going to be the Bachelor, he's not getting engaged.
I don't know. I mean, if they really want to, we've talked a lot about The Bachelor and diversity and pushing the show forward. They've never had an engaged Bachelor on the show.
Oh,
right?
like a polyamorous Bachelor?
Right,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bachelor with a bunch of wives. That would really stretch the whole thing a lot. Clearly, this couple didn't work out. Do you think this is is this a storyline that's going to pop up on the next season of The Bachelor at all?
Yes, I do think so. I think just based on Jen Saviano's appearance on After Paradise last night, she's still not happy. Nick, he was on his Bachelor in Paradise for him has been also like rehabilitation, like image rehab, because he was a villain during his Bachelorette seasons, and this season he became, much more likable. Everybody, was really kind of rooting for him. But his breakup with Jen was not good. Like, he let her, kind of give like a, an "I love you" speech. She was like, "Oh, I couldn't see a future with you," blah 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 blah. And then he's like, "Actually," so it was kind of like he didn't look good. So it's he's still got some, image stuff to work on.
He's got a lot of learning to do.
He does. Yeah. He's learned a lot. He's going into this the most educated Bachelor there has ever been.
It'll be really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But what also is interesting is everybody's questions. They've got some really fascinating
Yeah,
ones.
let's
so
hear
keep
'em.
sending them in, facebook.com/TV Guide or hashtag TVG Live on Twitter. Let's go to one over here. Megan wants to know, do you think that Wells was genuinely into Ashley since he gave her a rose, but then broke up with her the next morning?
Wait. It's like, because I don't know. Wells became like it became his personal bachelorette, was basically or bachelor. That was his, because he got three women were all interested in him. So he went on like 3 dates. And
Okay.
I don't know. I think Ashley was there, and then some other women showed up, and then he was more into them.
All right. Relatedly, Sadie would like to know, can Ashley and I be the next Bachelorette?
That would be great. Ashley I is incredibly entertaining. She's both very articulate and kind of relatable, and also off the rails all the time. Like, she's always crying. Like, they did a cry countdown. She cried something like 35 times during the.
Listen, I don't want to cry shame anybody.
No,
That's a
but
lot of crying.
There's a lot of
That's
crying.
a little too
That's
much
like
crying.
it's her thing. Tim Surratt, who senior editor for TV Guide, he called her the franchise's punching bag, which is kind of sad, but also kind of true. They're not very nice to Ashley I. So maybe she wouldn't be a good Bachelorette, because they are mean to their. They're kind of mean to their leads sometimes.
All right. Well,
Leave Ashley alone.
Yeah, leave Ashley alone. Diane says, so disappointed that Luke is not the Bachelor, decided not to watch the Nick saga for a 4th time. He's been kind of played out. Is this something that a lot of the fan base is feeling at this point?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been pretty split, like half and half. People who are excited for Nick and people who don't want Nick. So it was gonna be Luke Pell. Apparently it was a last-minute decision that it wasn't going to be Luke Pell, who was the 4th place finisher on JoJo's season, and everybody likes. But so apparently that Sunday before, like, Nick was announced Tuesday, and Luke was like ready to go on Sunday, and they said, no, we're going in a different direction. So yeah, I think people are disappointed. It was like everyone expected it to be Luke. It was a big surprise when it was Nick.
Yeah. What I'm interested to see, I don't know if it'll work at all the same way with The Bachelor. It would probably work this way more with contestants. But I feel like when you have any sort of competition show, when you have returning people, they always psych themselves out, and it's fascinating to watch because they come in with this overconfidence. They're looked at as elder statesmen, and then they make the same stupid errors that everybody else does.
Yeah, totally.
So it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard. Like, this is the unanimous thing across all, show leads have said how difficult it is to eliminate people. And Nick is very sensitive, so we're going to see a lot of tears from him too.
All right. Very quickly before we have to go, we asked you guys on Twitter what you wanted to see in Bachelor in Paradise Season 4. So throw a couple of out at you real quick. MH says, I think Jennifer Saviano and Chase Brody would make a stunning couple.
Okay.
Agree, disagree?
Yeah, that'd be good. I think Jen will probably be back after she was jilted on the altar.
Supermama Sarah says, Chase, Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Do you think, is he a lock for the next season?
Yeah, I would think so, unless he doesn't want to do it.
Right.
But I think he will be. Yeah, Chase, he was another guy who was considered for The Bachelor. He's a little wooden, which is why he was not chosen.
Maybe he'll loosen up a couple
Yeah,
of drinks
exactly.
on an island. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Lauren Alicia 26 says Vinny needs to be on next year. Chances of Vinny
Yeah,
being on?
Vinny became the like sort of the breakout star of Bachelor, or one of the breakout stars of Bachelor in Paradise. He didn't do much during The Bachelorette, but he kind of got his heart broken in Paradise, and I don't know, he seems cool.
All right, and Michelle says, Jared Habon for sure. Red heart, different from the purple heart for the other guy. What do you think? Is Jared Habon coming back?
Maybe. He's already done it twice. He and Ashley have had their, will they, won't they thing, which he's, according to him, is straight up won't they. Will they is only in her mind. But yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, I wouldn't be super excited. He seems kind of like his storyline has.
Well, I'll tell you who would be excited. Michelle would be excited.
Sure,
and
yeah.
Michelle,
He's
we're
a
very
handsome guy.
excited you and everybody else watched. Liam, thank you so much for being here. You guys, we are live every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern discussing different TV shows, mostly Bachelor in Paradise, though, let's be honest.
What else is there? It's
I don't think there are any other TV shows. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And the world of TV is very complicated. We'll guide you through it. See you next time.